don't even want to borrow money anymore. I'm just gonna make my own money.
Hello, I'm Lilian. I know that a lot of adults struggle to understand all the different pieces of the financial puzzle. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take each puzzle piece and make them simple enough that even a kid can understand. Today, we're gonna explore investing and interest. Simply put, let's meet today's special guest. Hi, I'm Lilian. What's your name?
I'm Claudia.
Hi, Claudia. So tell me a little bit about yourself. What are you into?
I really like animals, and I have 5 pets.
5 pets?
Yeah, my bearded dragon's name is Coco.
You have a bearded dragon?
Yeah.
How long do bearded dragons live? Are you going to have Coco for a long time? Is he gonna come to college with you? You could get him a special bearded dragon suitcase that you could carry around.
Whoa, that'd be cool. I don't think they invented that yet, but I'm gonna invent it.
So if you're gonna start your, bearded dragon suitcase company, you're probably going to need to save up some money for it. One of the things that you would do would be invest. So do you know what interest is?
I am interested in bearded dragons and a way for people to bring them around instead of using leashes because they'll get cold.
You're gonna need a lot of money to invest to build up your prototype of your bearded dragon suitcase. So let me explain what you need to know to be able to invest for your bearded dragon business. So the first thing that we need to understand is interest, which is not quite the same as when you have an interest like you're into film or you're into bearded dragons. If I was to loan you money, then I would usually take a little extra on top. So I'd say, I'll give you $1 for lunch this week, but next week you have to pay me back $1.10. If you are someone who pays back all the time, then you're gonna pay a really low interest rate, which means that you would maybe only pay 2 cents on that dollar if you paid it back next week. But if you're not gonna pay it back until next year, so I'm gonna let you have it for a long time, or last time I lent you money, you didn't pay me back, then I'm going to charge you much more. So I would charge you, let's say, 25 cents rather than 2 cents. And you'd have to pay me back $1.25 next week instead of $1.02. That's because I've decided you're risky because you don't pay me back. But if you keep paying me back consistently, then I might charge you a little bit less. And credit card companies do the same thing. And that extra on top that they charge you for loaning you money is called interest. So the bad thing is that interest works against you when you borrow money and you have to pay back more. But if you're lending money or you're letting someone else use your money, like you put it into a bank, then you get that interest back and then you could earn money from it. So if you wanted to invest and save up money for your bearded dragon company, you could put $1 in the bank and they would say, thank you for letting us have this $1. And the longer you leave it in there, they'll give you more cents back for it. And so if you leave it in there for a long time, you would get more cents, and that's interest.
Okay, so even if I only leave $1 in there, but it's a million years, I get more than if I put $2 there for 1 day. Or is that?
Yeah, okay, you just understood compound interest, I think, better than most adults. So let's say you put $1 in and you got 10 cents. And every year you got 10 cents. But the cool part is that 10 cents will earn an extra 10 cents on top of it. And that's compound interest because it will just keep growing and growing and growing. So for another example of compound interest, it's like a rubber band ball. You start out with a small rubber band ball like this, and then you keep adding rubber bands to it, just like you keep getting more and more interest. And then after a time, it becomes a big rubber band ball. So if you put it in a savings account, you might not get very many rubber bands on it. You'd get maybe just 1 rubber band a year. But if you were to invest it in, say, the stock market, which is riskier, then you would get a higher interest rate, but there's a possibility that they don't pay you back or it doesn't make money. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, Claudia, it seems like you understand interest now. If you were gonna explain it to your friend, what would you say interest is?
I would say interest is like savings, except that you get money back if you keep it longer in there. And if you're feeling risky and go put your money in the stock market, but some people might not pay you back for a long time, and then finally, when you don't need that money, they're gonna pay you back, and you're like, I'm already rich, so.
Thank you so much for helping us today, Claudia. I think you may officially be a grown-up now. Or maybe the rest of us are just kids. But regardless, this was investment and interest, simply put. Compound interest is powerful. Don't wait to start investing until later. Just a little bit now really adds up. It works like magic. It's better to start with a little bit early than a lot later on.